We have 0 signups on an MVP payment platform. I got these 7 MVP onboarded. I learned what we need to do. And then from there, in 2 years, we achieved the 6,000 merchants.
Well, let's... All right, everybody, we're going to welcome Analys Falchuk to Treehouse Talks. Let's go! So, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
We met last year at an event at Uncle Nearest.
Yes.
That's right.
JP Morgan.
JP Morgan had invited a bunch of entrepreneurs and got to meet Fawn Weaver, which was really, she's a powerhouse. Awesome hearing her speak and getting to see the facilities there. Really incredible.
Yeah.
And we chatted a little bit at the event during the networking event, and you've got a crazy story. You're into a bunch of stuff.
Yes.
But what I'd like to do is start with where'd you grow up? Where are you from? Let's learn a little bit more about you, and then we'll get into the business side of it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Well, let me start with where my last name is from, which many people ask me, oh, this is not from here, not from there. Right. So from the back, my grandfather, my family immigrated from Poland to Venezuela.
Okay.
And in the Second World War. And then that's where I'm from.
Is that
Venezuela.
common? Were there a lot of Polish people in Venezuela?
Polish community in Venezuela, it's the least common, but it's common. You have Italian, you have Spanish. It's the ones that dominates the most.
Okay.
Italian, Portuguese, and then you have German, Polish. It's like a percentage.
Do you speak Portuguese or Polish? Do you speak any of these other languages?
Well, I understand Italian. I understand Portuguese.
Okay, Portuguese is tough. I always say I understand several different languages. Portuguese, I'm always just like, oh, I give up.
I mean, it depends. If they speak too fast, I probably won't grab it. But I would understand. I can dance the samba.
Okay.
So I know the rhythm of the Portuguese.
I like that.
So yeah, and I grew up in Venezuela. I was born in Venezuela. And I grew up in a town next to Caracas, which is a different state of Venezuela, but it's north in the coast. So going to the beach was my weekends, but living in the mountains is how you live in the weekdays. Okay. So I grew up there. I was raised Catholic, but then at home I was raised Jewish. Okay. So I had a mix because of my grandfather from Poland. He was an Orthodox Jew, which he would run the Jewish community in Venezuela. Okay. And that was an interesting, for me, culturally wise, definitely very already, since I'm a little kid, seeing very drastically cultures, moments, festives, holidays, like a lot of celebration every time. Yeah. And growing in, so that was basically, and my family is pretty big. I'm grew up in a family that is pretty big, and I'm one of, there's like 15 lines, like 15 cousins, and I'm like number 14. So all my cousins they all have kids. They all see me as like this little woman, what she's doing in the world, what she's gonna become. So I always been attacked by all my cousins towards who's going to be the husband, who's going to be this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, let me be.
So did you grow up, did you have Hanukkah and Christmas? Were you double dipping there?
I would do, Hanukkah and Christmas. Okay. Both.
Lots of celebrations.
Many celebrations.
I love it.
Yeah.
So at some point in time, you or your family moved from Venezuela. You landed in Miami?
I immigrated to Miami in 2016. Me and my sister only. Okay. Without my parents. Okay. We landed in Miami. We used to come to Miami since I'm a little kid. Mm-hmm. My dad loved baseball and would travel to the U.S. for watching baseball in multiple baseball games. And the MLB was part of our yearly traveling roadmap.
Okay.
But then that put me to, when I landed to Miami, I was very familiarized with United States.
Okay.
I was already speaking in English because I was in a second school for English back in Venezuela. My parents knew that they want me to live here. So I knew I never applied to universities in Venezuela when all my friends, when we were graduating, were. I was the only one applying to the US.
You knew you wanted to go to school here.
Yes.
Okay.
So moving 2016, as soon as I got here, I got into university.
Okay.
4-year program university, like typically did my associates, did my bachelor's, graduated in Miami. And yeah, and with my sister then in 2020, when that's my year of graduation, is when my parents moved to the US.
Okay.
And we're finally back together as a family there. But I already had family members living in the US from 20 years ago. We were one of those that were like still in the process of moving.
Were they also in Florida?
They were in Florida, New York City, Georgia, it's North Tennessee.
Okay.
Like I have family in different areas, mostly in New York. I had 3 aunts there, so they were the ones that were the most established here since a long time ago.
Did you travel to New York much?
Yeah, I used to travel to New York when I was a kid and like go around in the, Fifth Avenue and seeing the Broadway in New York. Definitely was already a thing that we would do. I go now as an adult. I understand the city. I understand the dynamics. I always knew this was like the most diverse city I can be in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I was going to be able to work or go to this Empire State Building to an office one day for a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And that have happened in my career, which is super interesting. Every time it happens, it really blows my mind. Feels like it almost like, is this real? Like, I don't know. So I embrace the opportunity for sure.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So moved to Miami 10 years ago, basically. So you've been here for a while. And did you always have an entrepreneurial spirit growing up?
I did. So both my parents were entrepreneurs in Venezuela already. They would work together, and at home, I was already seeing them and learning from them how they would run their company. My parents used to do an import and export company for technologies from the US and China to Venezuela.
Okay.
So even merchandise and like samples of merchandise that they sell will come to our home. And my dad would be like, well, I'm selling this. This is how I sell. This is why I sell it. This is for 2 to 3 years old kids. Like he would explain to me the product he's selling, toys or a technology, which could be a PSP, a PlayStation at the time. And he would explain to me the value, the features of the product and things like that. Then since then, I would say I will come and help my parents many times in their showroom when they have clients. I was the one serving the coffee when they're showing and selling the clients all the new merchandise that my dad came from the US or China and imported it. And he's like, these are the newest PlayStations or the newest Blackberries at the time. Like we don't manufacture those things in Venezuela. So seeing what's new.
I don't think we manufacture them here either, but
right. But over there is harder to get.
Yeah, no, I understand.
So even that I was already, and then when I graduated from university in Miami, my last year I do 2 cohorts, which are like entrepreneurial like cohorts that you do where you understand a problem, you identify what's the problem, the pain points, to what audience, to what market, who's solving this, suffering this problem, who's solving this problem too already. And then you are like, if I can solve this problem better, how would I do it? So I did these 2 cohorts in my last year of university that would train my mind to think about problems are opportunities, and this is how you analyze them. So then this is how you can come up with ideas, let yourself experiment and learn. And see what happens. So spend my last year doing that. In my last semester, I was like, I need to really graduate and having my own business.
Okay, so you knew you wanted to have your own business.
Yes.
Now, were you pointing in any particular direction? Was there something that was calling to you back then?
I decided to study the food supply chain.
Okay.
and look at the food supply chain as the industry that I want to be very good at understanding the problems.
Uh-huh.
And after really doing the research on the food supply chain, there's so much, but I definitely focus on the commercial side, which is the hospitality industry, the restaurant industry. And I was like, okay. And then what these cohort would help me was to narrow down my research to come up with what's next to me. And they were like, you live in Miami, metropolitan, hospitality is huge.
Yeah.
Restaurants is huge. So if you like the food industry, what can you do to restaurants? And so I get my mentor at the time asking me all the time, what can you do to restaurants? If you, in 3 months, what can you do? What are you learning now? Have you talked to them? Have you interviewed them yet? And I'm like, well, no yet. Well, what are you waiting for? This is how you start. And I was like, oh, okay, this is how I start. And of course, I took 3 months of my last semester to do research, market research, connect with a bunch of restaurants. I invented my own business cards. I'm a market researcher for restaurants. That's what I say I was.
Okay.
And then people start getting my contact, and then I would start getting now people getting back to me. But what have you learned so far about the restaurant? Where are we going with Uber Eats? Why Grubhub and Uber Eats now compete with each other? Who should we? I started getting questions from restaurants to me about what was happening in the restaurant scene.
Okay.
At the time, we were like in between of getting back to live, and COVID was not as restrict anymore. So it was like 2021 beginning, and restaurants were back to life, but they were all about getting into delivery services and really doing very well at selling online.
Right. Sure.
And that's the opportunity I found and connected the dots. And I was like, this is my business. I help restaurants in Miami sell online and do better than the last month. That was my pitch. And I had to know how to do that very well.
And how did you do that?
Well, I created a formula when it comes to identify their pain points. I realized that menus online sell better when you have few items than what you have in your in-person
full
restaurant.
menu, yeah.
And
I
so
get that.
I did this research, identify what are the menu items that are selling the most in the market, at what times, in what platforms, and then I provide a full market research report to my clients to let them know, like, this is what you need to move towards if you want to do better at sell online, if you want to try it out. If you're a restaurant that already do burgers, let's reduce to top 3 burgers. You don't need to sell the 10 burgers.
Is the main thing on an online menu that gets ordered the thing at the top of the menu? Yeah, that's what I would think.
And
Nobody
also,
wants to scroll.
at the time, these restaurants wouldn't pay attention to pictures need to look very well, and that every item needs to have a picture.
Yeah.
Because the item that doesn't have a picture won't sell. And so
Makes sense.
we will come take the photos. So content creation was a service that we will provide. We will provide delivery service management. Like, we are your delivery service management team.
Okay.
So-
Those are two very different things, by
Yes.
the way.
So,
and you
but
combine them
we
as a
combine
total
them.
solution for these restaurants.
Yes. So we were like the online, the back end solution for the restaurants. And we start offering just that. And I would say some restaurants will come to us as like, oh, and would you guys also do social media? And would you guys we have this event. Can you guys also help? And can we get you involved?
Yet
Like,
again, something very different
they
than
start
that.
looking at us as like this external team that can figure things out.
Okay.
Like, we can figure things out for the business.
Sure.
We were not like, we were not in terms of we're not serving food at the restaurant. We were looking at things from the outside. So it was me. I had a ex-business partner at the time. She graduated with me in university. So we came up with the idea at the cohort together in university. And then when we started growing, we achieved 12 clients at once. That was our portfolio. We could manage 12 clients. We couldn't do more than that at
Were
the
you just
same
a
time.
two-person team, or did you start hiring?
We started hiring,
Okay.
and we created our own LLC. This was my first time I was 21, I created my LLC. I see we have income. This was my income. And then we started looking at, okay, we need help to upload the photos that we take into the menus online because this process is standard. We can make it faster. We can hire someone in South America. And we start building a community in South America of people looking for jobs, that they can be virtual assistants and that they can do any task that we explain very well. They can do it and we'll pay them hourly, depends of their job. And we start finding amazing talent.
Sure.
From Venezuela, from Colombia, from Argentina. And they were all in our budget at the time. And we would deliver an excellent job. Like we will always be on time. We will always be, we will keep our high quality of everything we do. I would say our most expensive service was the content creation photography because that was main in Miami. And we were not the photographers. We like to hire the professional photographer for this. So that was our most expensive thing that we offer, but it was very nice. So that lasted 2 years. 2 years, we grew, we were profitable, we managed, we gained like exposure, Refresh Miami, Miami New Times. We're talking about us as like this FIU, like students, university launched this during COVID. And now 8 months after, there's helping 12 clients, 12 restaurants in Miami. Like we were definitely getting momentum. And I would say that experience taught me so much, more than any other job I ever had in my life.
Tell me something. So you've got your 12 clients there. Give me an example of something that blew up on you, maybe a difficult client or something you weren't expecting that you guys had to overcome during that time.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a lot, but let's just something that comes to mind that maybe
Well,
been
my
difficult.
negotiation process was all in person.
Okay.
And I was the sales. I was the person that would go and have the meeting with the clients.
Sure,
I would
of
go
course.
to their
Yeah.
offices. I was almost always super prepared because I didn't know what I was going to expect. And then I would say that clients would ask me a lot of questions about their own business. And I couldn't figure it out at the time before I get more expert, if they were testing me out or if they were trying to see if I can solve their problems right in the get-go and get them the job that they're asking.
Could have been both. Could have
Yeah.
been a mixture of both.
Both, right? And then I guess I was very naive. I was literally 21 years old and I'm like so dreaming about what we're doing and definitely just being very careful that I follow the procedures that we set. Like we even setting up rules for our own business was a hard thing for me to understand. That's how it works. Like, for example, my partner will tell me no more than 2 meetings to close a client. She will give me these goals.
Okay.
And I was like, no more than 2 meetings to close a client? Oh my gosh. Okay, so that means
I love that you guys had some structure because early on it's anything it takes, and you don't
so
really have
much
those types of
structure.
SOP. Yeah, okay.
And so I had 2 meetings to identify,
So you knew at the end of your second meeting you had to close this,
close the clients.
or you're going to leave. You're not a client. Okay.
And in my second meeting, I will always prepare with a potential proposal, prices, contract in hand, everything.
All right.
I was like ready.
So were you closing in 2 meetings?
I was closing in 2 meetings.
Okay.
And then we get to manage every client over WhatsApp. We have WhatsApp group chats with every client. So we have direct communication lines with them. And we were running and operating, honestly, smoothly. I would say things that probably surprise us. I guess for every client, it was the first time that they work with an external party like us.
Okay.
That was surprising to me. So we were a new expense on their balance sheet. We were
Sure.
a new cost. But at the same time,
You're driving sales.
we're driving sales. So we were that missing piece that they were not figuring out before, or that they were seeing us as like they are doing a better job than we do running the business. Like, so there's something here to learn. And I think they were looking at us as like like innovators in the space, like people that were very, very interested and passionate about like learning about the market, being on top of the
Yeah.
hedge. And even, I mean, we will come up with the research, we will tell them why Uber Eats is better than Grubhub and better than DoorDash in a cost level, in a marketing perspective, on a sales perspective, on the users, who uses more this than that, depends on your location of the restaurant, what's better for you. None of them had this research done
Sure.
about their business. And we brought that to them. So to me, that was the biggest insight when it comes to, we were really solving a pain point and a problem, or bringing value to these clients in a way that they even didn't know they had these issues.
Did you work with a specific type of restaurant, like just Italian, or was it just restaurants? You were okay to work with any type of restaurant?
We will work with restaurants that have, first they have to have delivery services, like they have to have online menu, or
Okay.
or at least they want or they need to go online, because that's what we will offer the best to
Hmm.
position them. And then so we started with a one shop only, so one restaurant only. We have like this Italian restaurant, but then they had a food truck. And
Oh,
so it was actually two clients in one client.
yeah.
And or we had this other one, a sushi owner that had two other restaurants in another location in Miami. And so we started realizing that one business owner can bring us three businesses at the
Sure.
same time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's how it's run in the hospitality sector. Or the other one was, we got a chain that has three locations, the same restaurant in three different places in Miami. And that was a good one because it was very standardized for all of them.
Hmm.
But they all the different locations have different delivery platforms. So it was like one client will give us 12 accounts for delivery. Like, it was crazy.
That's awesome.
And so that's how they would see us, as like, yeah, we need someone like you to run this.
I read something recently that the advent or the maturation of online delivery for restaurants, because it really has spread, driven by COVID. But prior to that, the only type of food you could get delivered was pizza. And I saw that pizza delivery sales have gone way down, because if you want a burger now, or if you want spaghetti, or if you want fish or
Sushi.
really anything now you can get delivered. And it used to just be pizza and wings, because you'd go through your big pizza delivery people, because they had all that stuff baked in as part of their model.
Yeah, and
Were you
pizza has
seeing that
always
too?
been pizza has been the model in terms of delivery to go, the oldest in restaurants for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and they figured out their packages, right?
Right.
The boxes of the pizzas
Yeah.
are things that existed for many years, and the reasons why they're that material is because they figured out that keeps the pizza warm.
Yeah.
Many of the restaurants, they didn't even have the right delivery package.
I'm sure, you know what? It's like French fries are terrible. Like, that is a hard thing. Every minute that goes by, it's a very different experience eating French fries or a steak. There's certain things that kind of a harder thing to deliver food ready. But I have seen some innovations in larger cities where the packaging, or if you go to Japan, they've got different things. Just kind of like, oh wow, what is this? But it's pretty fresh. Were you dealing with any pushback if there was an issue with the food when it got to the customer, or was that off through the delivery people through Uber? You were managing some of that too.
That we were managing that too, because we manage the delivery platforms, we get the messages from customers.
Got it.
If there's any refund request, if there was any bad review,
Mm.
things like this, we started gathering this data. We didn't know we were gonna gather this data when we were offering our services. The
And
more
where you
we
were responding to the reviews?
So we learned that we were having access to this information, and then that's when our relationship with the customer comes in as
Yeah.
well. Like, hey, we get access to this information, this is happening. And now Uber, for example, they have rules. If you don't reply to a customer review
Yeah.
in 3 days, they take you away a star from your
Okay.
restaurant.
So now
And
you're doing reputation management, with is yet another thing. Because all these things you're doing, like there are companies that just do this one thing. They just do reputation management. They just do the delivery. They just do the online. They just do the social media. So you're really the extension, the front end of these restaurants'
we were
interaction with their
seeing
remote clients.
everything. We were getting data. So after all this time, definitely we saw there's a lot of patterns that repeats in terms of what we can do, how we can help, things that could be optimized. We started then being more innovative internally on our team to think beyond just a service, like a service business, and say, can we become a company that is more automated and actually like put the problems that we're solving manually, we can automate this. So we started thinking in automation process and how we can, and we built a design of an app. We come up with a design of a mock-up process for the different, how this workflow would look like for this client, like what their dashboard would look like. So then we will come back to our clients and say, if we offer you this service, and would you pay for it? Would you pay for this software to solve your solutions to this and that? So we even started getting into this. I don't know, like I look back and I'm like, how genius I was with my friend that and committed to really build in this space, and do all the things, right? Like at one, like make sure we are making money. 2, we're delivering value. 3, how we innovate, how we do research, how we learn more, and how we like keep all the clients happy. Because sometimes a client just want me, Anelise, to come and say hello on a Friday and have drinks with them. And that was it. And that was like also part of my job. And I'm like, okay, now my social life is with my clients.
Yeah. So looking back on that, what was driving you the most? Was it the solving the problems? Was it the operation side? Was it the selling side? What was really the spark that was when you woke up every day that you were most excited about jumping into?
Solving their problems.
Solving the problems.
Adding value.
Okay.
It
adding
was
value.
adding value using my intuition, my creativity, and my skills. So,
Okay.
and then at the same time, learning. Like how I guess I was learning how it's interesting how a company can grow just by collecting data on a specific niche, on a specific problem, on specific operation of the business. Like, and then I learned we were building a business. So building a business from scratch was definitely also what energized me the most. Like
It's a very difficult thing to do.
From zero.
Starting from zero is very difficult.
And
it's nice you don't have any legacy problems or issues, but at the same time, it's like you don't have anything.
You don't have anything.
Yeah, clean slate.
You a week before you were 0, and today you are 1,000.
Yeah.
And then I think that was honestly amazing.
It's a lot of fun.
And just the fact that when we started hiring people, and I was realizing, like, I was becoming conscious that we are giving job now. Like we're able to give back to the humanity in some way to our countries that are in need. At this time in the year was like COVID. It was hard. Like, and we were giving jobs to people that could earn money, work from home during COVID time in South America. That was terrible. And to me, that was like, I want to even work harder. Like, I don't want, like, now I care about the people that work with us.
Of course.
So
now all of a sudden you've got people depending on you too. Though.
Yeah, it really boosts you up. It feels like it's like a powerful energy. I don't know. I feel like you become a vessel where now you give, you receive, and it flows and keeps you moving. So that was my experience.
That's a great way to think about it. So how did that end? Where did that ultimately go?
Well, that goes to, we are now known in the market in Miami in the hospitality sector as this innovator, like, business and young people with a lot of creativity and ambition. we started getting offers from software companies in
Okay.
the hospitality space, payment platforms, anything related to hospitality businesses
Okay.
coming to us, asking us if we're able to refer their businesses and that we will earn commission.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have this second source of income coming to us with opportunities. Payment platforms, like new delivery service platforms that we're launching based in Miami, like no Uber, no Grubhub, no DoorDash. This one called Sauce. The founders were from Israel, and they wanted to become the Grubhub or the Uber Eats, but based in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And they will come to us and say, we offer you 1.5% per transaction on orders if you guys sell our service and integrate that to your clients. So we start getting a lot of now B2B conversations.
Sure.
Super interesting how that came to be. At the time, my partner, she's like, I don't want to expand ourselves right now. I don't think that's where we need to go. Me, I see this as like, no, we have to. This is opportunity. Like we were a good partner because of we had different approaches and perspective about growth and expansion. We always align, but I was more ambitious and risk taker. She was more, let's make sure we have the structure and we're good things in place before we move on. I'm like, no, we should try it out.
Yeah.
Before we even know.
Right,
Like,
yeah, sure. Why not?
let's wonder.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, I don't think we should do it. So these things happen, which lead us to a payment platform come to us, offers an opportunity. She said, no, I don't want to do this. And I say, okay, I'm going to do it because I'm sales anyways. So I'm going to do a little bit of market research and see if a crypto payment platform at the time.
Here we go. I was waiting for crypto to come into the story.
These can come in the market of Miami. And as soon as I call my 7 clients that week, all of them say, yeah, of course, let's put them on. They were asking me, do you think they're going to do well? Like, are we going to have people paying in Bitcoin? I'm like, well, this is part of the marketing campaigns that we need to do. And with this company, we need to figure out what they give us. So I was on the side of the clients at the time. And that being said, like when I come back to the business and say, I onboarded 7 clients to you this week, they couldn't believe it. They were like, how you did this? You don't know nothing about Bitcoin.
Right.
You don't know, did you sell them Bitcoin or what did you offer? And say, I just offered the benefit of the software platform. I focus on the technology, not on the monetary incentive.
And let's take a pause here real quick because I think
Okay.
it's important for people that are listening that don't understand the Bitcoin or crypto scene in Miami in general, right? So the city has really embraced this. The mayor at the time, he wants to be the crypto capital of the world. So there was a lot of technology. There was a lot of investment. There was just a lot of open arms, if you will, around the city there that was really building that. So it's not, I don't know if that same story would have happened if you were sitting in Des Moines or if you were sitting in, I don't know, El Paso, maybe not, but Miami was kind of primed to have these types of conversations, correct?
Yes. And this is back in 2022.
Yeah.
Which back in 2022, the Bitcoin conference or crypto conferences are being held in Miami for 2 years already.
Yeah. I went to one of those. Pretty wild.
The movement started in 2019, 2020, things paused. 2021, the movement of crypto came back. And then 2022 was the boom of the boom. And that's when I got connected with this company in 2022, onboarded the 7 clients. And then we started giving away, like we started putting in our clients, like restaurants, the Bitcoin, pay with Bitcoin here, stickers all over. And we started doing that and things were happening. People were asking about it. But at this time, this is what gets interesting because then I get an offer for a job opportunity to this company and I run my own company. And I was like, well, I'm going to keep running my company because I have commitments, contracts that I need to get done. And they say, well, we're okay with that. You can keep doing your thing, but we want you to be full time with us. Like we want you to be the person who achieve 6,000 merchants on board there into our platform. Like we have this goal and you can do this.
Okay.
And so, and then that was different. It was not a bit to be like negotiation. It was like personal to the business. And so, and they say, we'll train you in Bitcoin. You will come to the Bitcoin conference. We'll get you travels to all these Bitcoin meetups around the United States, and you'll get involved in the community because you need to know what this market is about. And I come to my partner and say, listen, this is what happens when you're a risk taker. You learn there's more opportunity, and sometimes, you know, you connect with that and then you go. So I told her, I'm going to take this and we'll continue our contracts with our clients, but I'm not bringing more revenue to the company. Like I'm not pushing more for bringing more clients for now. Let's maintain what we have, keep what we have, deliver our service. And so that's what we did. And I focus on actually executing this startup company from zero again. We need to do. And then from there, in 2 years, we achieved the 6,000 merchants.
Well, let's dive a little bit into it, because it's not the easiest thing to go and sell an MVP. You know, I'm not saying it was vapor. You could have had something like, hey, this is the idea, then it moves to an MVP, and then like, how do you convince those folks to sign up for something that is brand new?
So the MVP is a free service. They get charged because it's payment. They get charged in the transaction, but they're already getting charged in the transaction by traditional finance merchants. So it was not like completely new in the way that you pay this service. The benefit was that you are not adding any new layers to your payments. You're only paying us if you get clients to pay you in Bitcoin.
Okay.
Like
in this, I'm assuming you're undercutting traditional POS system like MasterCard, Visa,
Yes.
American Express is
that
2.5%, 3%.
they were our competitors. Let's say.
So you're coming in underneath of that, but it's still pretty lucrative.
So we were an add-on. We're not removing them away from the existing system. We're at an add-on to your system, added value, a nice to have.
It's an additional choice at payment.
Additional
at
choice.
Checkout.
But the strategy here was what it gives the opportunity to the restaurant is to launch a new marketing campaign that they never done it before. A new messaging, a new call to action, a new reason why you have to come to our restaurant and eat here, because we got you a new user experience in terms of the payment workflow that you can have with us. Is if you have a wallet at the time as the payment platform, we were giving away money. Yes.
Okay.
So we would have campaigns in Miami that we would give people like rewards back for paying Bitcoin in Bitcoin.
Okay.
And we will basically load them their wallets, like ask them to incentivize them to download a wallet. We will give them $25, and that's what they use to pay in Bitcoin at the venue.
Okay. So the business model was that you're going to have a fairly high customer acquisition cost, but once they're on there and they're used to paying for that, then you're getting your transactions back on the back end there.
And the education happened when people are doing the transaction.
Yeah.
And when the restaurant is receiving the transaction. But of course, for the restaurant, it was an easy model. Like you get paid in Bitcoin, you get charged 1%. In our platform later on, after 6 months, we were able to convert the Bitcoin to USD using an exchange backend company partner of us. And so now even the value proposition for the restaurant was even better. It means
they
like
get USD immediately. They can convert right
if
there.
you don't want to keep the Bitcoin,
Right.
transfer it to USD.
Yeah.
So now even that was part of the business model.
And they're driving new customers because they've got customers now that got free money essentially that may have never eaten there, but like, hey, they accept this. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to check out this new Mexican restaurant that's got this exchange here that allows me to use this pathway.
And then when the 2022, the Bitcoin conference in Miami came, it brought 30,000 people. Guess what? We were the official payment sponsor for the conference, and we were the payment infrastructure for the entire city, telling people of the conference, go eat here, eat there, eat there.
Yeah.
All of these places receive
awesome.
Bitcoin. And that was my campaign. My campaign was making sure that during the Bitcoin conference, everybody knew that we had 100 onboarded restaurants in Miami that were accepting Bitcoin, that you can go redeem $25, pay in Bitcoin, have this experience, share with your network, share the experience. And it became definitely like a network effect happen
Yeah.
this time of the
I
year.
love it.
And then that blew up, honestly. But then I would say in this process, so with this business, I lasted for 2 years too. So 2 years launching a startup, achieving great KPIs and learning so much about Bitcoin, startup, fintech, payment platform. Like I had to go to conferences where
Do you still have ownership interest in that company, the original company?
in the
The
payments
startup?
platform.
No, the startup, the one that you did right out of college.
Oh, the hospitality business, we still do.
Okay.
Not as we used to before.
Okay.
It's more like, honestly, we probably have one or two clients
Okay.
now.
Because you weren't putting any attention into it.
We had to look. So the reason why we kept it longer enough is because my partner, she ended up getting a job in a startup in food tech. So she kept herself in the food industry. I was the one that moved away to Bitcoin.
Okay.
So she kept in the food tech there. So for her, our clients was pilot research, and it was good for her for continue developing on her other startup that she was working on. And she got into like smart kitchens, ghost kitchens, like a different concept of, and then that all of our company gave her so much to develop for the job that she has. So she kept running those businesses and we kept the relationships. And what we finished is all the contracts, we finished them. We'd never renew them again. What we had is just these clients calling us back again, say, no, we really want your
Sure.
help to something else, or can you refer us to one? So we keep the relationships.
Good.
We refer them to PR agencies. So we are like, what we can help you now is on a PR level. Let's just introduce you to PR people that we can help you bring more sales to the company, more exposure. So we always contribute and give back to the community in many ways. So that was part of it. So yeah.
Okay. So then you were at this payments platform for 2 years. And then what was the next step from there?
So payment platform for 2 years, which got me involved in the Bitcoin space very much. Like travel to Texas, to New York, to Nashville multiple times. That's when I started coming to Nashville a lot, because Bitcoin Magazine headquarters are in Nashville, and we would have partnership with them, and I would come and work with the team of Bitcoin Magazine. Even though I was in another company, we had this cohort co-working space. I would come for a week to Nashville from Miami, work there. That was my first friends in Nashville, and go back to Miami. And so I would have this dynamic of really tapping in and meeting so many people. I ended up working with Bitcoin Magazine.
Cool.
Yeah. So Bitcoin Magazine hired me for 2024. Bitcoin Nashville was coming here. So from Miami to Nashville for the first time, they were getting out of Miami after running it there for 3 years. So I was hired as the local marketing person.
Okay.
And I was,
so you're the boots on the ground, no pun intended.
boots in the ground. And I was also working next to the CMO, which is of the company, to understand high level strategy and help the team of 7 people in the marketing team execute the different initiatives, the messaging, what is it that we're offering in this conference, try to connect with more companies in the traditional finance space, in the investment banking space. At the time, we already built relationship with the mining sector, but there was all more to build, because in Tennessee, we're more close to mining infrastructure than we were in Miami. And so also doing partnerships development for the conference. So I definitely expanded myself in the industry more to a corporate level, and then marketing strategy, and then boots on the ground.
Okay.
Moved to Nashville in 2024 for 4 months, to being able to work from the office and to really run these campaigns locally that we had. And then again, successful conference, 30,000 people. We brought in people from all these companies based in Nashville headquarters, Pinnacle, Oracle, NetSuite, that none of them had no idea about what a Bitcoin conference is about, but we want the corporate team to come and experience this. So we did that, and then successful conference for this conference now in the ground, and during the week of the conference I changed roles. Now my role is to be a content creator, and now to gather insights of people in the conference and companies of what they think about the Bitcoin conference, and basically interview them.
Okay.
So I interview I interview CEOs, CMOs, or founders of these companies in all their booth. I will go to booth by booth with a camera, with a microphone, interviewing everybody. And that was content for the conference platforms.
Got it.
So then we can use that messaging and for the next conference. And so it was a full content creation marketing strategy I was part of, and I was the content creator actor, I guess.
Yeah.
At the time.
I think I saw you posted some pictures with Michael Saylor. I think you ran into him, or the poster child for Bitcoin. What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, well, Michael Saylor, I saw him in September last year recently. And it was because it was this is another event company in the Bitcoin space called Bitcoin Treasury Media. So last year, I stepped back a little bit from Bitcoin Magazine. I wanted to tap into more corporate marketing, and I partnered up with Bitcoin Treasury Media, which focuses on marketing, events, and consulting to Bitcoin Treasury companies, which is a very, very new niche in the industry. They're doing what MicroStrategy did, Michael Saylor,
Right.
which is a Bitcoin Treasury company. Michael Saylor is a public traded company,
Yeah, strategy.
MSTR,
Mister.
which incentivize multiple entities and innovators in the space to do the same. So that's what they did, and built this segment on the industry out of nowhere, and it became a new thing, and there was no marketing or no media focus to help these companies get their messaging out. So we built, me and two partners, we built this company very quick, honestly. We turned out from idea to execution and our first event in 6 weeks.
I love it.
Crazy. And this was in September last year. I was already living in Nashville. I already met you at this point. So I always, just to a little bit, I always been involved in the Bitcoin industry. I never left, even though I have another things I was working on at the same time. The reason why you met me at JP Morgan, it was not because of my work in the Bitcoin industry, which we can talk about it after. So yeah, I partnered with this company, took me to more corporate. Then I was doing marketing for real companies, and it was all corporate conversations.
Is this on the treasury management side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then now Michael Saylor became one of our main hosts of what we do and how we educate these companies. And yeah, this became to be a podcast just for the treasury company. The person who runs the podcast lives in New York. And then, it became a consulting firm where we also help expand these companies into different segments and markets, or connect them into what they need now. For example, many of them are needing to generate yield out of their investments. So that gets a little bit technical, but then we will be, someone that will make them introductions to service providers, hedge funds, people that would have power to help these treasury companies grow to their next level in a way. So definitely brought me into a different, more technical in terms of financial statements conversations, which was part of where I wanted to be in anyways. But I was independent working at this time. I have my own company, on consulting, and I'm a partner for this to do what we do. So I figured out to be fully independent entity like Anelise. It's basically, you want to work with me, it's me. And then I will be part of projects that I can spend some hours and like strategy and execution as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been a little bit of this
Yeah.
past year.
I saw something. I saw a recent news. You just joined an advisory group. Is that OG?
Yes,
Talk.
which leads me to my most updates today.
Let's get the most updates today. You guys are hearing it here first.
Yes. So all of this journey has grown fast, but I joined Orange Group Advisory. It's a consulting firm focused on pre-IPO and post-IPO companies in fintech, Bitcoin, and AI.
Okay.
Today, there's a portfolio of 15 companies that were already onboarded in this company, and one of them, BitGo, Mara, it's a mining company. Exodus is a wallet infrastructure exchange. So, and then we have some AI companies and so our main core business in this company, which I'm learning and I'm now tapping into a new role and which I've been super curious. I think I manifested it honestly, which is investor relations and being somebody that help companies to find the right investor fit or the right strategy to report back to their investors once they're post IPO. And this is what these companies specialize. We specialize at reading quarterly reports and understand the financial statements, understand what can be improved in terms of company like performance, like if the company has new goals, how can we help them achieve new goals? And that leads us to, we have a marketing department in our team that we can help execute those goals. And then, but on the core, it's IR side is more, we help bring the right messaging to investors, or we help bring the right investors to the companies if they're looking for that as well. So interesting. It's very corporate. I'm just getting it started. Honestly, it's being announced yesterday because I joined last week. It's a pretty diverse group of people. A lot of them has a lot of background in finance, traditional finance, Wall Street, 25 years of experience in investor relations. I bring the Bitcoin expertise, the go-to-market, the marketing, the public relations energy.
Yeah.
They say our manager directors we already have kids. We need new energy to wanting to come in
You can have kids and still have energy.
Yes, but they say we have done these public relations for 25 years. We want people who wants to know people like you.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I love it.
Tapping into this, it's new, and we are 30 days away from the Bitcoin conference in Vegas.
Okay.
This year, which I thought I was gonna go independently on my own. I literally printed my business cards, like were my name, because I have my own website, my portfolio. I was like, honestly, just working for myself, and these just came on right 30 days before the conference, and now it turns that I'm now part of an entity and a company and in a mission, which delivers and focuses on the same things I wanted to focus anyways on my own. But I always not wanted to be on my own. I appreciate being on a team. And having mentors that I can learn from. Like in this company, I told the CEO, like, I don't know how to read an SEC document. And he's like, that's perfect, because we don't need you to know how, this is what you learn, but you don't learn your skills and your personality. And that's why I'm hiring you for. So it's like, okay, this is, I like this.
Yeah.
It complements. So this is new, very exciting, which, is so exciting too, how AI has, like, I have experimented so much with AI, which is my other side of things, which lead me to, with AI, I have built products like code and being able to develop other sort of skills that I was like, I'm impressed. And I'm like, you feel like, as a new person coming into a company, I feel like nowadays, or if you want to be an entrepreneur, honestly, like AI make you feel more confident
Absolutely.
that you can do all the things.
Do you have a particular platform that you like more than others?
Well, I definitely use ChatGPT is my best friend
Yeah.
for everything.
I love
have
ChatGPT.
I have folders for my personal life, for my conversation with my mom, for my conversations with this company. Seriously, I build folders so that ChatGPT tracks things
Mm-hmm.
in a structured manner. Um, but then for developing presentations or things that I want to standardize to a level, I started playing with Visual Studio and Claude
Mm-hmm.
integration. So I code in the
You get them
Claude
talking to
chat.
each other?
They talk to each other, and then boom, it builds a sub link that I can see. I'm developing a new website. I'm developing a new presentation. Like if I need to help the company, let's in this case, like come up with better design for the reports or very structured for the reports. Oh my gosh, like let's do it. I don't need to be like, I don't need to go through a graphic designer right now. I'm gonna try it myself.
Sure.
So right now, those are my main that I use. I play with Perplexity. I use it for research.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good at being very good at backing up data and giving you the sources where it's found. Like always, I found Perplexity very good at that. And when it comes to building ideas for products, Replit, Claude, and I used Cursor as well.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
team uses Cursor, and
Yeah.
they seem to be updating stuff. It's every 2 weeks I get a new email about Cursor 2.0 and then what they can do there. And my team, they are constantly just like, check this out. I'm like, whoa. I mean, it's amazing in real time what's happening
Yeah.
with all these and it seems like any given week somebody edges ahead a little bit, right? My SVP of marketing, she's like, you've really got to check out Claude right now. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm a ChatGPT guy myself, and I enjoy when I'm typing things in or I'm building something. It'll say something to me that I've told it before. It's like, hey, this fits in perfectly with this other thing you're doing. I'm like, oh yeah, that does. It really is. It gives you superpowers.
Yeah, it does. And I think to me, it expands or it gives me more. It boosts my creativity. Like it adds value to my process
100%.
when I'm creating, making decisions. It's faster. I also use a lot Figma still
Yep.
to design projects that are more complex or brand elements. I still use Figma as like the main folder to source that. But what I've learned from Figma, it also has an AI integrated now, and it also now works as a Figma browser. So now you can launch websites and sites on landing pages directly from the Figma mockup that you created, which is amazing.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about what is next, right? So we've got a new position here. So what's the rest of 2026 look like for you? Where's your head at? What are you most excited about this year?
Well, oh my gosh, this year has just like been incredible in terms of I feel that there's an energy of like everything is gonna happen. Like everything is like
clicking.
Be careful with what you're thinking.
Sure.
Because things are gonna happen. Like yes. And so I guess this year I'm excited for. First of all, I honestly think that I haven't really enjoyed the fact that I live in Nashville yet because
What's new?
Yeah, it's been new, and I feel for the first I'm gonna live a full year of the changes of the season and being here. I really want to be grounded in where I live for the time being, but I love the hobbies that I'm also tapping into this year: tennis and horse riding. And in both, I see how both are bringing some sort of dynamic competition, discipline, learning, coaching, teamwork. It's awesome. And I'm very good at, like, I really appreciate having these side work things that I get to do in my life, and that takes you to places.
Yeah, sure.
I would say there's an exciting and creative energy between me and my group of girlfriends when it comes to um, getting ourselves together to support each other's like personal goals. And some of us has, I want to be more like a model. I want to be make a launch a business in a styling. Like everybody has these very personal businesses ideas
Are
that were
your
like,
friends all entrepreneurs?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. Like there's a group of girlfriends that I have. We're entrepreneurs, and we have these, when we're not doing our main thing, feels like we still are creating when we're together,
Mm-hmm.
even when we're with friends. And we have come up with ideas of, should we become the new Nashville magazine for fashion and styling? And I said I contribute as a model. I contribute as a model. I contribute as like someone that provides ideas and and to where these can go, how we can do it for sure. And then my other friend, she's like, I'm the stylist, I provide the outfits. And I just love how I think there's a creative energy this year overall. So I'm looking forward to the things that actually move on. So feels like this year I get to really get involved in things that I'm most passionate about, that fits my personality, and where I've been wanting to grow into. And yeah, I mean, and doing things like this. I'm excited to that. I'm like, whoa, there's a story to tell.
There's definitely a story to tell. I think that, there's this still a lot of people that are immigrating here to America. And would you say that your story or your upbringing in Venezuela was something that is advantageous to your story? Or do you think it's something that's a detractor?
Being from Venezuela,
Being from another country and starting businesses and being an entrepreneur here.
I think, no, I think it's an opportunity. I think it makes you unique for many companies. The fact that you are, that you have this entrepreneurial, like in you, they appreciate that nowadays. I can see how even my conversation with this new job, they were like, listen, I hire right now only entrepreneurial people because ChatGPT can help teach you what you need to learn knowledge wise and things like that. So I think the world is shifting where, being able, you can work remote nowadays from everywhere, like anywhere. Like I believe there's more opportunity to be an immigrant in the world than any other time being in the past. So an American can be an immigrant in Brazil and, leave that experience and come back and understand what he feels. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's definitely an opportunity. It puts you in an advantage. For some reason, I think that you get very much focused on achieving your ambition. Like, I think there's something around, I feel in immigrants is like there's a hungriness more than any other people
I love that.
around sometimes. And I think that's not
Do you think you've got something to prove?
that you have to approve.
No, do you think you feel like you have to prove something? Do you have any kind of a drive that's like, I've got to go out and win. I've got to go out and prove something to somebody, something.
I think I probably felt that in the past. But because I was young. I never thought because I was an immigrant.
Okay.
I think my
So you're inexperienced, being youthful, that you're like, I've got to prove that I can do it.
My seeking of validation period in my life was more because of my age rather than because of where I'm from or whatever. It's my age. I don't know why the age. It's like because I became an entrepreneur when I was 20, and I was sitting down with, a business owner, and I'm telling him, you need to pay me because I'm better than you doing this. And I need to prove it, right? So,
and I've only got 2 meetings to do this in, so you got to make a decision quick.
And I don't have a background experience to tell you how I was doing this in the past. Like, you're believing me right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I think years passed and I could see myself like because I was part of teams. And then when I work in Bitcoin Magazine, I even had people younger than me. So that and then everything feels better. It's like, oh, actually young people start working early in this country because also in Venezuela, people don't really work until after university, and university in Venezuela lasts more
Okay.
years. So people don't start working until like 26.
Well, that's interesting because I had dinner with a group of young entrepreneurs earlier this week, all founders, and they're still in college. And he's got a rule. I'm not going to say the name of the company, but he said he doesn't want anybody on his team over 26. He's like, oh, that's no, we don't want to deal with any of those people. He's like, I was like, well, you're going to be there pretty soon, man. But, so there's some bias to that, that they don't want to have any of the older folks in there. Was there anything that you learned when you were in school that was maybe traditional or more accepted business advice or rules that you would push back on now that you've been out here in the world doing it? Was there anything that like, oh, they taught this in school and I'm wholly against that? I think about things very differently, and I've proven myself to be right.
I think I don't know if I really in school. I would say to me school was a very systematic process. Like I saw it as like this is a system I just need to pass on, and everything else after is what matters.
Yeah. Check the block.
Yes. So in school I was not really I don't think I went to class with the mindset that this was going to be what I was going to supposed to apply in the real world. I would seek mentorship outside of school. Like I would seek somebody that already built a company or have offices or a founder in a startup, and I would text them, "Hi, I want to have coffee with you. I'm interested in learning this, and that. I'm looking for advice for this, and that." Like, I think I always seek outside mentorship or where I get my advices from. And I think everybody who gave me their advices were always on because of their personal experiences. So I always thought myself, you can listen, but you cannot believe everything.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Because it's not gonna be the same for me, and not all is gonna work for me the same way.
That's right.
So, and this was actually an advice that somebody also told me after, and I listened. It was like I clicked. It was like, listen to everybody and ask all the questions, but listen to yourself first when you want to make decisions. Because it's gonna be your mistakes, and you have to go through your mistakes
100%.
or to your wins.
You've got to listen to your gut. You absolutely do. And it's good to get advice, but you can't manage by committee. And at the end of the day, when you're the entrepreneur, when you're the one making the decisions, you've got to go with your gut, because in the times that you don't, you're going to beat yourself up that much more, because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make a lot of mistakes, especially as fast as you're moving and the things that you're doing. And that's perfectly fine. But you certainly want them to be your mistakes, not somebody else's.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap this up with are you into any conspiracy theories? Do you go down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole?
Some.
Okay. All right.
Some.
This will be good.
Okay.
So I always like to ask people, what's one conspiracy theory? What's something that's pushing around in your social media feeds right now that you're like, you know what? I believe that's true. I think that's not a conspiracy theory. I think it's a conspiracy fact.
Tell me yours first.
Well, I can go down the rabbit hole on a lot of them. I can. We talked with a guest about not landing on the moon. I don't think we did that. I'm not as far into flat Earth. I'm not going to go there. But we can talk Bigfoot. We can talk Kennedy assassination. We can talk all kinds of things. Is there one conspiracy theory you're like, you know what? I don't believe in that. I think they're feeding us a line of shit.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I can come out with a new conspiracy theory, I guess.
Okay, well, that's fine. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
No.
No. Bigfoot is not real to you.
No.
Okay. All right. We've got a lot of people that'll push back on that one that have had personal experiences with Bigfoot.
Really?
Oh, that's what they say. I don't know.
What is another one that you have seen?
Aliens. Do you believe in aliens?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So see, that's you'll get some 50-50 on that. Some people like absolutely not. Some people are absolutely yes.
I think yes.
You
I
think
think
yes?
there's many life beings in this earth that we're not aware. I believe we are living in the seventh dimension. People think that we're living, they say there's 3 dimensions in the world. I believe we're on a 7th dimension nowadays.
What does that mean, 7th dimension?
Like there's 7 layers of life that we are experiencing at the same time. Like it goes that way, but I mean, how can I explain this? So I guess the third dimension, like 3 dimensions, which is what you would hear the most, is the most standard thing. You say we have the soul level.
Okay.
We have the earth level, and then we have anything that exists under the earth.
Okay.
So there's like
3,
different.
but you think 7?
Yeah, 7. I think we have 7 dimensions.
Okay.
Like there's other beings above. There's 7 layers.
I'm gonna have to look into this. I don't know anything about these 7 dimensions.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't think it's bad. I think it's just humanity evolution, earth evolution. I mean, I believe the earth is talking to us in many ways. And the nature is coming to us with the messaging. Like, I believe all these things.
Okay. Well, there we go. How can people find you online and follow what you've got going on?
Online, analysfalchuk.info.
Okay.
Is my website portfolio, a good portal to learn all about my work, all about all these different projects I just spoke about. And Analys Falchuk in LinkedIn, Analys Falchuk in Ads, Analys Falchuk in Instagram.
There we go.
So
we'll make sure we put all that stuff.
Substack. I just launched my Substack too.
Excellent.
So I'm writing about finance, marketing, empowerment, and health.
I love it.
Those are my topics for now.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on Treehouse Talks, everybody. That is Anelise. I'm Eric. Great job. Let's go. Great job. Great job.
Thank you.
Now here comes the real question. Were you guys recording? Nah. What do you guys think? Did that come through all right?